Hey guys, welcome back to my channel KnowledgeKeen, and I know it's been too long that we have started this session back again, but sorry for that. And let's continue to our videos where we stopped last time. So today we are gonna see another interesting video, props versus state. So we are gonna see what is props, what is state, and properties and state are two different concepts in React, but they are very important and have quite some kind of similarities. We are gonna see what are the differences between them and what exactly they do into these videos. We are going to make a couple of videos on props and states. Rather than states, we are going to make more videos on props because that's the latest part in reactjs, and we are going to see what props do and what states do. What is props? Props basically stands for properties. Here we are. So props and state. So props and state will go hierarchically. What are the prime differences which we usually should know, and gradually we will just do some other differences which are not that important. But the initial three differences that I'm going to show you in the next slide, that is going to be very important. Okay, that are prime important. Even if these are asked into your interviews or in your real life, wherever you are using props as a state, this is going to be quite important. So let's see, without wasting time, let's see what are these props and state. Props are passed as attributes to a component. Basically, whenever you see props, there are nothing but some attributes which was passed to the component, and it also has some values attached to it. So props are nothing. They are not a local variable, or they don't are not related to a component, but they are passed by some other component to this component. So they become as properties, and we know that properties are also called as attributes. State, whereas state is a local variable to that component. Okay, so let's say that we are declaring any variable using let var const, that becomes local variable to that particular component or that particular page. So state, whenever you these two terms come into your mind, props, it is passed as a property to a component, but state is a local variable to that particular component or that particular page, that particular feature, whatever you want to call it. So these are two major differences between props and state. The next one is also important. Props are immutable. Immutable, that means you cannot change the value of a property. That is one of the major difference that you are gonna always know. If you try to change a value of a property, you're gonna get an error. Whereas as state is a local variable, it's mutable. You can change the value at any given time. Next, props are external values that are controlled by the parent component. So props are what? These are external values. As I said, that it has been passed by some of the other component. So usually it is the properties are passed by parent component to the child component. So the child component have that property values, but which are passed by the parent component. Whereas state, we again come to the same thing, that it's a local variable, so it's an internal value and is controlled by the component itself. Because it's local, the state is being handled by the same component in which we are using that. So no other component is going to change the value of this particular state. Then the next point is props are read-only. We already saw that it's immutable, so they are read-only. And for state, this is going to be another important point. State changes can be asynchronous. So whenever you are making any change into state, they are asynchronous. That means they are going to take some time, okay, to update these values into the state. So the last point, props are used to pass data between multiple components. Okay, so we know that we are passing the data from parent to child, and again the child can pass the data to its child. So we are passing the data from one component to another. So we are passing the data between multiple components. It can be a hierarchy of components. So you can pass the data from parent to child, okay, and vice versa, but you cannot pass the data as props to sibling component. This is very important, okay. So when there are two like brother-like components which are one beside the other, you can't pass the data from one to another. There should be a common parent between them. We are going to see all these examples and how we are going to do that. So there are going to be a lot of examples where we can say this. Next, state, the same thing for the state is state holds data of one particular component, that is the current component. So props, we are passing the data between a hierarchy, whereas state is just having the data for its own component. These were the differences between props and state. I hope this was quite understanding. Okay, to know more about props, you need to watch our next videos which we are going to keep on posting. So henceforth, we are trying to make this video short so that they can be very interesting and it would be quick to learn. Okay. So I hope you like this video. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and do subscribe our channel. Thank you.